Hi dear subscribers, most watch me without a subscription, support my channel with a subscription, and I will make you happy with new story. Story 1. Aita for ruining my brother-in-law's day with a purposeful fart. Bil and husband co-own a house that was passed to them by their father. We live in one half while Bil lives in the other. The only thing we share is the living room and kitchen, the rest is completely separate. Lately Bil has been making odd comments about my ladylikeness. I am a down-home backwoods dirt under my fingernails still play in mud puddles basically would rat of a woman. He's been cutting into hard labor chores I do and tells me he'll do it so I don't hurt myself/get dirty. He'll make positive comments when he sees me cleaning, lucky man, and says things like I've never seen you cook. You should cook more. Note, he does not cook either. I like to look nice here and there. Whenever I do dress up and do makeup, Bil makes comments about how I should do it more often and I look super nice. He has said dressing up for husband? All of these I shut down with I do it when I feel like it, I'm doing it for me, etc. He is not a bad dude overall, he's actually a riot to hang out with, but it's little subtle things spread out and it digs at me as roommates do. Luckily we're moving soon. Anyways, yesterday I belched in the kitchen because I thought no one was around. Bil pops his head in and jokes, have you ever thought about being more ladylike? Now the tone is joking, but the word ladylike is like my emotional tailgating car. Tailgating only makes the person in front slow down. Telling me to be ladylike makes me turn that shit way down. I have mad props to graceful and more traditional ladies if they like it, but I am not one. I say nope, and he replies you should consider it and leaves the room. So this morning, I'm walking by the living room, Bil is watching the morning news, and I decide to grace the room with a big long fart. This is the just woke up and shit is moving fart. It is the fart that has been building all night. It is loud, it has vibration, and even in the tiny room it echoes. I'd honestly give it a good 9 out of 10, it was a damn masterpiece. I thought it was hilarious, immediately. Bil not so much. He proceeds to jump up and rage about how gross it was, fuck I've heard him blow out farts before, and how women shouldn't do that. Unfortunately, by this time I am doubled over in tears because I can't stop remembering the fart and his rage has made it even funnier. He gets beyond mad and storms off to his bedroom. It's now 9 p.m. and he is still enraged and hiding in his room. He says it was an asshole move, technically the truth? At first husband thought it was funny too, but now since it's upset his bro so bad, he's leaning towards maybe it was too much and too immature and then I should have just told him that he was being overbearing. I feel like as a 37 years old man, Bil should have known better than to think he can tell a grown woman how to behave. It probably would have been better to talk about it, but who pouts all day over a fart? So, am I the asshole for solving problems with an asshole? Edit, you all are making me cry laughing again. I'm showing my husband and he's come around. Edit 2, every single fart story is killing me, I feel a tenth of my age right now. Verdict, NTA. Relevant comment. Asked how her husband feels about the situation, I never complained to my husband about the comments until last night. They didn't bother me that much and I shut them down strongly on my own. He was worried about his brother, but after I went through the thread with him and we had some good rib-busting laughs, he asked if I wanted him to talk to Bil. I said no, I've got it. We chatted this morning and it's all gravy. My husband is the first to be my advocate when I need it, I have about 0 complaints about him. I understand his sympathy, but he only understood half the picture and it took some chatting to get him to understand my thought process. No one's perfect, certainly not me. Final update, June 27, 2020. Edit 3, just woke up to this, combing through comments and loving it. Bil came to me when I went to go make coffee and said I made him feel uncomfortable in his own house. I told him it's my house too, and I've seen him do the same unashamedly. He made a couple but I'm a man comments and I called it out as sexist. He asked me how it was and I asked how it was not. After a few back and forths, he started to understand that he is not my husband, this is my house too, and I do not and will not ever meet his southern standard for a woman. He wraps it up with, "I guess it was kind of funny," and stalks off. I left a coffee peace offering in the living room, where he is enjoying Saturday morning programming without a violent crop dust. We're all going to make dinner tonight and have a family make-up with hopefully no dinner table farts. I have some standards. All in all, pretty damn good end result. And I bet I will never hear "be ladylike" from him again. Still reading every comment, what a way to wake up. You all are a riot. There is a further update in the comments, with a link to a post that I have not been able to recover. I may or may not have laughed a lot while typing it out. Editing my highest up comment to post the update link, as I have been scolded by the mods for editing my post too much. LOL, oops, sad face. Anyways, turns out dude is a creep. Additional post found by you/various_ambassador92. The short story is, my husband's brother is really scaring me and I need to get into my own house now. I am not a professional artist, but I'm willing to do illustrations in return for help. Asterisk. The long story is, I live with my husband and his brother. Both of them co-own this house, but my husband and I were gifted a small piece of the farm by their, now deceased, father. We have been living with the brother to save money to build a little house, and we have done so by penny pinching, scrounging for resources, and reusing as many materials as we can. At first this was all okay, but in the last few weeks, the brother has gotten worse and worse up until the point where I can't stand to be here anymore. It started as jokes about me being a lady, asking me to cook and clean more, telling me to be more ladylike around the house, etc. I brushed him off and stood my ground, and I thought we were fine. Lately, it's been getting worse. He demands that I cook him meals. Hey, why don't you go ahead and cook burgers for when I get home, and once dumped his laundry in front of my door, so I had to pick it up and give it back to him. He was all offended, saying I was supposed to do it for him. He demands that I clean up the living room that we share, but I never get to use because he's always taken it over. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, thank you. He has, in the past 3 weeks, shoved his head into my half of the house, separated by door, and complained that it's cleaner than his because his brother has a wife and it's not fair. My husband has tried multiple times to tell him to screw off, so he started doing things that his brother won't see or does it when he's gone. He purposefully hangs around the hallway where my bathroom is when I get out of the shower, so that when I leave he's conveniently passing by and will dip off saying "oops, sorry," after catching a glance of me walking to my bedroom in a towel. So I've started scrubbing off and getting dressed in our cramped little bathroom. I used to sing in the shower to music, but in the past couple of weeks he's started going on about how I have such a beautiful voice and he loves to hear me sing, so now I've stopped. I've also caught him putting my cosmetic oil on his hands and smelling them. His brother has been after him multiple times to stop being creepy, and the past couple of times he got heated and told my husband that he doesn't deserve someone like me, how my husband is a bad husband, and that I will surely leave him soon. He's also made sure to make comments about my appearance or his own lately, saying he likes my clothes/hair/makeup, that I fix up nicely, and whines about how he is fat and ugly and could never get someone so beautiful. He's told me I smell nice and has started brushing my arm with his fingers by accident a lot. The other day, I noticed someone had gone through my drawer where I keep our sex toys, and husband claims it is not him. One is missing. I don't feel safe here anymore. I feel like a piece of meat, and I've spent the last week in my bedroom afraid to leave. I only leave to go to the bathroom, go straight to the car, etc. I don't eat until my husband gets home from work. We have been struggling to get out for a while, but with COVID our hours have been cut and we are really struggling. Originally we were supposed to be able to have moved in by now, but with the extra strain it's looking like weeks. What's most frustrating is that the cost of getting everything fixed enough to move in is an attainable number, but time and time again we've saved up only to have a sudden emergency rip away our funds. I just want to lay down to sleep in my own bed and not wonder what's going to be said when I leave my room again. The new house is nearly a half-mile away from this one, and the brother won't be allowed to come by. I'm afraid to leave him around my cat, as well as he used a switch to whip him once when he knocked a cup off of the coffee table. I raged at him and he shrugged it off and acted like nothing happened. My husband is losing it as well. He broke down crying about not being able to provide a safe place for us and our fur baby, and I've never seen him sob on the floor before, but he's just as defeated and tired as I am. We have worked for years to get better after a bad accident wrecked my ability to work for about a year. We've been slowly rebuilding and moved into this house to stop paying rent. The house is paid for and husband half owns it. We've sold everything of value to get this house made and have been driving junker cars to make up for it. I am coming here as a last resort to please ask for help in getting me out of here. It would solve so many problems. I haven't slept in days and everything is blurring together now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Story 2. He, 22M, loves me, 21F, but having thoughts of breaking up with me because he feels too young to commit. Shit, this is going to be long. Me, 21F, and my boyfriend, 22M, have been together for 5 years. It's a high school love. He had relationships before. For me, he's my first love. It all came together. Before we started dating, we've known each other almost 2 years and started to build a strong friendship 2 months before our first date. It was like a movie. Stayed up all night. We spoke every day on phone. It was like we're meant to be together. He felt like my other half. Our mind worked the same. We could communicate, etc. He finally asked me out, and we've been together since the first date. I feel you need to know what he's like to fully understand the end. He has been always the center of the room, always with friends, always cheesy with girls, got them whipped around his finger. It was in his nature. I wouldn't say he's a fuckboy, but he was a heartthrob. After he was out of high school, he started to feel unwell because of the lack of relationships with others. Uni wasn't like high school anymore, where they were so tight with classmates and friends. Before I got out high school too, COVID begun. Because of the restrictions, we stayed together for weeks. I got home for a few days, then went back to him for a week or so. There was not much thing to do together, watched series, played games, cooked, but we constantly felt the need to be together. Our parents always said we are together too much, and we're gonna get bored. Of course, we didn't listen to them. It was all lovey-dovey. Sure, we had big fights, but we forgot the next day. We drove each other crazy, but loved each other dearly. We were constantly annoying each other, but in the end, we were so smitten my face hurt from the smiling. It was all okay until I had to face mental health issues. I began to question myself, our relationship, if he's the one I want, and if yes, why do I have thoughts about some other men, and thinking what it would be like to be with them? I didn't know it was normal, and that it doesn't mean that I don't love him. After a year or so, with the help of medication and friends, finally I was okay. I had other issues as well. Then it started over with him. He left uni and tried to figure out what to do with himself when he finally found passion in a thing that requires him to be alone, constantly. As I said before, he's the kind of person who needs others to be around them, many people, many friends to feel happy, to feel alive. He started to face depression, panic attacks, and I tried to help him. At one point I realized he almost goes through the same I went to. He began questioning his feelings for me, if he wants to spend the rest of his life with me. He feels like he's too young to commit, but cannot imagine his life without me, cannot imagine having children if I'm not their mother. However, we are constantly facing downs, no ups. I'm on 130%, always changing and meeting his needs. He even said it's not fair to me, and feels like shit for hurting me. Some of the problems he has constantly, my love language is physical touch. I love to just be as close as possible. I might made the mistake that I didn't realize it wasn't like that for him, and I suffocated him. I tried to take back, I don't do it anymore. He said he noticed I don't do it, even though when I'm around he's constantly afraid that I'm going to touch him. He felt cold towards me the previous days. He even said that he feels a weight lifted off his chest when I go home. He doesn't like being with me anymore, doesn't feel the need. Meeting with me is on his to-do list, and when we end up meeting, he feels he can finally tick it out from his to-do list. He says we've been together too much, just not doing anything, no quality time, just bored in quarantine, that he relates boreness with me. He also thinks the grass might be greener. He says he's a man and has the need to be with others, but he'd never cheat on me and constantly feels guilt of having thoughts like this. He feels like he can't be himself because he doesn't want to be cheesy with others, and because he feels guilty he can't feel good around others. I had the same problem. I didn't feel good in company because I was afraid of my feelings towards others. I think most of the problems come from him being alone and not being around other people, and if I'm almost the only one he meets, of course he's gonna get enough of me. I love him, I truly do, and he says he loves me too. In fact, he said that's why he can't leave me, because he's never loved anyone like this before. But this status is hurting me so bad, me waiting for him to decide. I feel like we're meant to be. There's no other men out there like him. Nobody understands me the way he does and vice versa, but I can't control his decision, so I'm just waiting for him to break my heart. We loved each other for so long, and I feel we still do, but maybe it's just the memories for him. He says he doesn't feel ups in our relationships now. It hasn't had joy for him for so long. This is the state for almost 1 year now. He is constantly debating with himself if he should break up with me or not, and whenever he tried to, 2 times, one in last February, one in December, we got back together 2 hours later, because he couldn't imagine not talking with me, not loving and being with me. Yesterday we decided that we should take a 2 weeks long break. We won't talk to each other, we won't write, won't call, won't meet, and after the 2 weeks we'll meet and see where we at. We certainly not seeing other people. I think it might be good for us. But I keep thinking about the things he said yesterday, him not liking me around him, and it's driving me crazy. If you have any advice, if there's a future ahead of us, or if it's common in LTRS, or experience related to this, I'm happy to read. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.